Hey everyone, have you ever wanted to go somewhere in Kingdom Hearts but the game wouldn't let you? You know something more is out there. There's a place you've heard of or maybe even see off in the distance, but you can't quite reach it. Well, today I'm going to be talking about some places that I wish I could explore, and there's a good chance some will overlap with your own wishes. Most of these will be centered around original worlds, as I feel like the majority of Disney worlds would boil down to, oh, I'd like to see X place from the movie that isn't in the game, you know. But still, I've included a couple of my favourites on this list. To start, we have Traverse Town. There's a few mysteries here, such as what's outside the gates. Is the gummy ship parked there? What does that area look like? There's also plenty of buildings we can't go into, but do offer intriguing possibilities. But before I get ahead of myself and talk too deep about this world, I better pick a specific place. So I'll go with the extra rooms in the hotel. In-game, there's only 2 rooms we can visit besides the hallway. The green room, which seems like standard Traverse Town affair, with some pretty great paintings. And the red room, which has a Chinese theme, and given the dragon imagery, it's likely a reference to Mulan. But there's a few more doors here. The staff-only door, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and maybe it's for the best we can't go in because then we'd see whoever that voice behind the curtain is, and I'm not sure we're ready for that. I think what truly gets people thinking are the blue and yellow rooms. We can see the blue room has an underwater theme very easily from the doors. Fish and coral adorn the front, and at the back we can see a dolphin and a crescent moon. I think if I was booking a room, I'd hope for this one. It just looks very relaxed and chill, and I expect this is hinting at Atlantica. Next to that is the yellow room, titled 3 on the front door. The green room is titled 2. We can see cacti here, so it seems to be a Western themed room. It's just the same on the back. So what actually is inside these rooms? Well, nothing of course, they don't exist in game. I don't usually use no-clip cameras in my content, but I think it makes sense for this video. As you can see, there's nothing here. The point is, while they don't actually exist mechanically, the world building is there to tell you that they do lore-wise, and it gets you thinking about what sort of design these rooms could potentially have. I could look through a dictionary and find some fancy words to describe that kind of world building, but I won't. And instead just use my favourite descriptive word, cool, because that's what it is. Also, I want a Traverse Town pizza. Slightly less comforting is the Realm of Darkness. In 0.2 we can see remains of 3 Birth by Sleep worlds here. Enchanted Dominion, the Dwarf Woodlands, and the Castle of Dreams. So what would I like to explore more of? Well, honestly anything. There's bound to be more Disney worlds that were swallowed by the darkness and ended up with bits scattered here, so I like thinking about that potential. I also think this game's representation of the Realm of Darkness is great. It's not just, oh, purpley rocks and sand and yeah, it's dark. Yeah, there's an area like that. But I mean this world of inversion, of dark reflections. Imagine other Disney worlds that fell to darkness before KH1. We know of a few thanks to that game's summon gems. Imagine the Pride Lands, but it's all that shadowy place that we must never go. What I mean is a Realm of Darkness version of the Elephant Graveyard.
Oh dear, I've said too much.
Well, there's also the Land of Dragons, the land of Bambi's mom dying, Dumbo's world. What I'm trying to say is 0.2's dark take on Disney worlds was very well done, and it got me thinking about how other worlds would look. It wouldn't just be cool, it'd be damn cool. Twilight Town, there's lots I could mention here. The mansion garden or that room that's blocked off. More of the station, we can see it's quite a big building. Maybe even getting to explore more than what we actually got in KH3, but hey, let's not go there, shall we? What I've chosen instead may seem odd, but hear me out. Twilight Town has a beach. Not just a promised one to Roxas in the simulated world. No, it does have a beach. We can see this sign telling us of its existence. So there's one out there, somewhere. And yes, we have beaches on Destiny Islands, I know, but you know, this would be a different one. I mean, the climate in Twilight Town would appear to be more temperate than Destiny Islands, so I'm imagining a different vibe to this beach. Also, it says Seaside Festival, so it'd be more populated than what we've seen on Destiny Islands. Knowing something's out there, but also knowing you're never going to see it, is a shame, even if it does make sense that you don't. You might say to me, oh, the beach is nothing special, why do you care? To which I'd say, stop being a buzzkill, but fine. How about if we got to see more of the countryside beyond the town walls? We don't often get rural areas in our original worlds in this series, and I'd love to walk through the hills, and maybe see more of the forests, the sounds of the gentle stream beside me, Whoa, I better be careful before this turns into an ASMR video. I'm writing this in the evening and I'm starting to get sleepy, not gonna lie. But it's okay because I'm voicing this in the afternoon. Anyway, Twilight Town but without the town, so Twilight Country I guess. It seems pretty nice. I wonder if there's a Twilight Village, maybe in Kingdom Hearts 8. Okay, so Disney World time. I love KH3's Caribbean, it's my favourite world in that game. The exploration element is excellent. But I have a skull and crossbones to pick with it because, oh my goodness, they blueballed us so hard with this. Near the end of the story, they keep mentioning Shipwreck Cove as the place they need to go. 2 years ago in my naivety, I got excited that we might get to see that location from the film in-game. Imagine the level design possibilities in the town of Shipwreck, all that verticality and such. It'd be so cool. But no, we don't go there, instead we just end up right at the open sea where the final battle takes place, you know, with the Maelstrom. This isn't a cove. There's no shipwrecks here. Not yet, anyway. God damn it, game, why do you do me like this? Yeah, okay, making a whole Shipwreck Cove area would probably have been too much, and I guess we kinda got that sort of thing in KH2 with Seadrift Keep, but that's not really it. Oh well, I guess there's always the Lego game. Okay, I guess I should practice what I preach and stop blueballing the viewers since I did put Destiny Islands on the thumbnail. Yes, here we have the mainland of Destiny Islands, the main island of Destiny. Though the Play Island seems to be where all the important stuff is. We only see it in cutscenes, but it looks like a beautifully serene place. So by the power of NoClip, we can properly appreciate this little island town. I love the mountains as the backdrop. The little 2D town with Palpu style stars looks so charming. Look at this neon owl sign, isn't that neat? I mean, I think it's an owl, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a bear? Some horrendous owl-bear hybrid? Well, there's also the hanging lights in general. Imagine those at nighttime. Oh, I want to live here. Using the shore area, we can see some of these coastline buildings in more detail. They've got a nice weathered look to them. They're very quaint too. And hey, look at this random flower. The main island is one of the biggest teasers in Kingdom Hearts. To go from seeing nothing but Sora's room in the first game to this entire town, but never getting to go there. It's painful, man. Imagine if this was a hub for a Kingdom Hearts game, coming back here to hang out and do your business. Wait, what if it had a day-night cycle too? Oh my god, okay, I should move on because this place gives me far too much excitement for things that will never happen. From what I can see, this is probably the top most wanted area to be made playable in the series. At least it was in the community. I don't know, maybe everyone's too busy fawning over Yozora and Quadratic Equation World now. I feel like this series equivalent of a boomer sometimes. I guess I'll just retire to my seaside cottage. Shame the back wall is missing. I wanted to mention another Disney World location we're teased but can't visit. Kinda spoiled for choice here. There's the rest of the world outside Beast Castle, just look at those spooky woods. Or the main town of Arendelle. We can see it, but it's a no-go. Hope you like endless mountain slopes of snow. Same sort of deal in the Land of Dragons, we get the Imperial Square, but it's pretty empty and we can't see much of the city. I've decided to go with my favourite animated Disney classic, Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time. No, it's not. It's Aladdin, the first one. Despite it appearing in both KH1 and 2, and despite us approaching the gates, we can't go inside the damn palace. I know it's kinda empty in there, maybe it wouldn't be that interesting, but KH1 probably would have made it interesting. And as for empty, well, that's KH2's middle name, so I don't know. I would have liked to have seen it. There's the garden too, we never got to see Raja after all. Or the Sultan, actually. What the heck? I guess Sora and Co are street rats and don't belong there. That's what you get for hanging out with the king rat, anyway. The world that never was. What an interesting place it is. In fairness, we do get to visit a good chunk of this world between KH2, Days, and DDD, but most of that involves the castle. And yeah, there's some rooms we see but don't get to walk around in. You've got Where Nothing Gathers, and the Soundless Prison where Kairi was kept. But I mean, let's be honest, there's not that much they can offer. Though I agree it would be nice to see how it all connects, but given this crazy castle's nature, it might not be as simple as that. I guess also it'd be nice to show Kairi that those bars are very much escapable. I mean, come on, first Amy in Sonic Adventure and now you. Harry Houdini would be rolling in his grave at this lack of effort though, he's probably already escaped it by now. But really what I'm more interested in is the Dark City. It didn't get as much attention as the castle floating above it. I feel like there's all sorts of mysteries down here in this vast urban jungle. I already mentioned the crash truck in the Creepy Things video, but just different areas of the city in general would be nice. Are there any parks? What's so special about Memory Skyscraper? Are there any more standout buildings like this? What are the buildings like on the inside? What's at the edge of this world? Does it fade into darkness perhaps? If there's a truck, are there motorways, or is it all as dense as what we see? You get my point. This weird alien-like city could have held so many intriguing things, and I do think it's a bit of a shame we spend most of our time in the castle. Or maybe it's all pretty samey and I'm thinking too deep, but this is Kingdom Hearts, it's not a surface level sort of series, and besides, it's only fun speculation, nothing more. Alright guys, I'll be honest, I could do a whole video on the mysteries of Radiant Garden / Hollow Bastion. We've seen this world in multiple different games, and yet it still feels like there's more out there, from unused concepts to underused areas. For this list, however, I've just decided to go with seeing more of the castle. Let's look at some examples. The castle chapel is split into 2 areas, and one of those is only accessible beyond a portal. This room is used for 2 boss fights, but what weirds me out is how cut off it is without the portal. It makes me think, what other rooms might there be inside Hollow Bastion that are cut off like this? The twisted, corrupted nature of the castle in Cage 1 may have blocked off certain areas. I mean, our route takes us up through the lift stop and the front side of the castle, but what about the back? Speaking of, at the Great Crest, there's a path around the side which is blocked by rubble. Where could that lead? Could there be more to the waterways? Or what about the piece of the castle we find in End of the World, the one with the Ark? Or whatever it's actually called, that machine, I don't care, I'm just going to call it the Ark. What's down that corridor behind the giant Heartless emblem? Is the emblem acting as a bouncer to a secret Hollow Bastion club? Do the Heartless enjoy raves? There's a good chance that that corridor connects to the ones we see in the bowels of the castle in Cage 2, given that those are part of Ansem's research area. And that gives us another example. We can't visit the Chamber of Repose and the prisons ourselves, instead forced to watch Xemnas trudge his way down there. Definitely a place to visit in NoClip for that creepy factor. More of the castle in its restored format would be nice too, since we don't get to see the insides at all in BBS, and Cage 2 only shows us the base level. What are the halls and towers like inside now? As you can see, there's a lot more that we could have gotten. I don't think we're ever going to get any more, unfortunately, so it's up to us to use our imaginations to fill in those gaps. And yes, castle. There aren't 2 castles. Villain's Vale is not the Cage 1 castle, alright? Ansem's castle is Ansem's castle. I'm not going to go into this now, that'd be for another time. It might be cool to explore Villain's Vale though. One thing I liked about the Toy Story world in Cage 3 is that it wasn't afraid to give us an original area. It took Cage 1's advice and immersed us in the idea of Toy Story, rather than just trying to recreate Owl's Toy Barn or something. Because let's be real, Galaxy Toys has a far more interesting layout than the basic as hell store design of the Toy Barn. That said, I do kinda wish we were able to explore a little more of Andy's house. Yeah, we don't see much outside his room in the movies, but this is exactly my point. Kingdom Hearts has the potential to expand on what we know from the Disney film in question. Galaxy Toys doesn't exist in the movies after all. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, the way I see it, one of the best ways to be immersed in the idea of playing as a toy, an action figure, is to explore a house from the perspective of one. I'm sure many of us who played with action figures as kids used our homes in imaginative ways. To the characters, the stairs were a mountain. The kitchen was full of dangers. The backyard was an exotic place and a perfect setting for a boss battle. Being able to run around more rooms of the house would really have scratched that nostalgic itch for me. Imagine if the stair handrail was a flow motion slide, for example. Imagine if you could have Sora swim in the kitchen sink, you know? I just think there's something more relatable about exploring the mundane, rather than running around a very gamey toy store in terms of design, though again, that was still good. I hope you enjoyed seeing a 23-year-old man playing with his old action figures, by the way. The things I do for these videos, honestly. We arrive at the last place I want to mention, and it's not something I can talk about a huge amount, because I don't know if it exists. It's Kingdom Hearts itself, assuming it is possible to go to a realm inside Kingdom Hearts. What would it look like? Well, it would definitely be more metaphysical than physical, something a bit like the final world, I guess, but the final world doesn't seem to be Kingdom Hearts. From what I can tell, they're different things. So what would Kingdom Hearts be like? In Cage 1 we see beyond the door into Ansem's Kingdom Hearts of World's Hearts, and in Cage 2 we appear to enter the world of nothing via Xemnas' Kingdom Hearts, but never the true one. It's hard to say. I feel like really it should be a place that defies description. Of course, the problem with that is How would you showcase that visually in a video game? Or perhaps the inside of Kingdom Hearts takes the form of the person experiencing it, and it'll be different to everyone. And maybe there isn't a realm or space. Maybe Kingdom Hearts is just an object, just a moon. But given some of the writings in the reports, and mentions of it being a place, I can't help but feel like there's something more to it. Who knows, maybe the final battle with the Master of Masters, or whoever ends up being the final antagonist in the series, will take place within Kingdom Hearts itself. If Disney ever lets the series die, these franchises tend to last for quite some time. And that's it, that's 10 places we can't go to in Kingdom Hearts. Where would you like to explore given the chance? How about the mysterious and surely fascinating Monstro Chamber 7 as this poster suggests? Leave a comment if you like, and leave a like if you comment. That didn't make any sense. Anyway, links to stuff in the description like Twitch for streaming and Twitter probably for memeing, Patreon, Discord and all that, and subscribe if you want to. Okay YouTube, I did the thing, can you let me go now? Alright, see you guys, thanks for watching.